Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Brian Herrera and this is Cliffhanger, a conversation show about the wonderful world of movies and TV. In this episode, I will review the last entry in the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
The galaxy still needs its guardians.
Hello, we come in peace.
In 2014, Marvel released the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, a storyline of the comic books that not many people knew about, making it a risky move for Disney. But thankfully, it was the kind of disruptive stories that the MCU needed. With clever charm, charismatic characters, impressive action sequences, and a nostalgic soundtrack, this group of outcasts became one of the most lovable and valued parts of the Marvel movies. Now, 9 years later, their story arcs came to an end in what, in my personal opinion, is one of the best trilogies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. To fully appreciate the journey of this set of characters, let's do a quick recap of their previous movies and some key moments in their story that led them where they are at the beginning of Volume 3. The first Guardians of the Galaxy movie was the perfect opportunity to expand the post-Avengers Marvel universe. In this one, we were introduced to a group of misfit criminals unlike any other type of characters shown before in the Avengers movies, showing a clear reinvention towards a new phase. Peter Quill, Chris Pratt, Gamora, Zoe Saldana, Drax, Dave Bautista, Rocket, Bradley Cooper, and Groot, Vin Diesel, became the lineup to the space comical action extravaganza not only critics but also fans came to love. But it would also become an essential part in the development of the Infinity Saga. I will say Guardians of the Galaxy gave Marvel the confidence to become more experimental with their films moving forward. The second film expands the relationships between the group. Starlord and Gamora became an official couple. Baby Groot is part of the team now, and a new set of characters were introduced with Nebula and Mantis becoming part of the group. Of all three movies, I will say Volume 2 is the weakest. Not because it's a bad movie, but because of its campiness tones, it dimmed down the effect that Volume 1 had. But the importance of Volume 2 comes because it serves as an opportunity to solidify the group and transform it into a family, into what it is now, a tale about found family, and we all know how families can be complicated. By 2018, with the release of Avengers Infinity War, the Guardians made the long-awaited crossover with the Avengers storyline, when they rescue Thor after Thanos attacked Asgard. During the events of Infinity War, Gamora is also killed by Thanos as the sacrifice he made to get the Soul Stone. And as we all know, by the end of this movie, once Thanos was able to do the snap, the only survivors of the group were Rocket and Nebula, leading them to team up with the Avengers in the epic battle that is Avengers Endgame. Once Hulk was able to bring everyone back, the whole team gets back together in the final battle. Not before Starlord realized his Gamora was killed by Thanos and that the one who is alive is another multiverse version of Gamora. By the end of the movie, the Guardians settle down in nowhere, their skull looking home, together as a family saving the galaxy. Now, all of these events bring us to the final movie, Volume 3. And I'm gonna make a stop here and say spoiler alert. A lot of key moments from the movie are gonna be revealed and talked about, so you've been warned. The third part of the movie starts with Starlord in a rabbit hole because of his heartbreak with Gamora, while the rest of the team is figuring out their new roles and routines in their new ordinary lives. But everything changes when a mysterious figure from their past attacks their home, hurting Rocket. The plotline in Volume 3 is mostly a rescue mission to find Rocket's origins before time runs out and he dies. Throughout the rest of the films, we've seen the other characters' past and struggles, but the last one to be explored was Rocket, and it's a smart choice from the creative team to choose him and to center the attention in his past, because Rocket has played an important part not just in the Guardians story, but in the Marvel Universe as a whole. His character arc has been one of the most well developed, starting as an outsider among outsiders with a lot of self hate about his nature and origins, to become the leader he was always meant to be. Volume 3 explores Rocket's backstory in depth, having a strong message in animal cruelty and animal experimentation as a social issue that needs to be addressed. As the movie unfolds, a series of flashbacks show how Rocket was created by the High Evolutionary, a cruel scientist whose mission is to create the perfect sentient being for the perfect universe. However, his willingness to torture, experiment, and kill his subjects in the process make him a vile villain. We are also introduced to Rocket's first found family before the Guardians, Batch 89, a group of 3 other animals that were tortured and built by the High Evolutionary. The visual contradiction between their mutilated, deformed, and metal bodies and their sweet and naive personalities emphasize how perverted and cruel the human hand can be. While Volume 3 explains how a mad scientist gave a raccoon the ability to talk and to think, the remarkable way they wrote Rocket's character proves that he is more than his body. His incredible mind, his unstoppable drive, and fierce strength come from himself and the hope and faith his friendships had on him. His time with Batch 89 explains his trust issues, but also explains the effect the Guardians had on him on his journey towards redemption. It feels like a cliche, but the story of the Guardians of the Galaxy, it's above all a story about found family. It's the tale of a group of broken people that come together to make each other better. Each of the Guardians has experienced their set of traumas and that explain their behaviors, but they still manage to find peace throughout their bonds with one another. And indeed, throughout the near decade of the big screen adventures they had, they all have faced their traumas head on and recover from them as a unity. I believe one of the main reasons this trilogy is a success is because of James Gunn, the director. He was able to direct all 3 movies, and in his hand, what could have been a simple space sci-fi movie became a charming comedy full of heart in a really tender story. One of the most praiseworthy elements of Guardians Volume 3 is the way they manage not to only give a spotlight to each of the characters to shine, but it also gives each one of them a proper conclusion to their character arcs. In the end, it was a satisfying farewell to this character, proving sometimes an old-fashioned happy ending is all a story needs. I will score Guardians of the Galaxy with a 4.5 out of 5 because it was the perfect conclusion for this set of characters. The movie is still out in theaters, so go watch it if you haven't done it yet. And that was it for this episode. Remember to subscribe, to like and let me know in the comments if you like Guardians of the Galaxy as much as I did. You can also follow us on our social media at the Brian Herrera or at Cliffhanger LA. My name is Brian Herrera and this is Cliffhanger. See you next time.